Hello, in this video we look at the Nobel Prize in Physiology or Medicine for the year 1902, awarded to Sir Ronald Ross, for his work on malaria, by which he had shown how it enters the organism and therefore has laid the foundation for successful research on this disease and methods of combating it. Here you see some of the beautiful drawings he made while researching malaria parasites. First on his work, a short quote from the Nobel Prize site. Here you can see the link to it, to complete. This is the reason why he got the prize, the official reason. In the tropics, malaria is a common disease that causes high fever and other symptoms. After Alphonse Laveran detected the parasites that caused the disease in the blood of infected people, there were attempts to chart a single-celled organism's life cycle. Since the parasite was found only in blood, researchers suspected that it was spread by blood-sucking mosquitoes and spent part of its life cycle in them. Ronald Ross has had mosquitoes suck blood from malaria-infected people, and in 1879 he found the malaria parasite at a certain stage of life in the stomach of a certain species of mosquito. There's some biological information also coming from the official site. Here you see the link. This is only a part of it, summarized by me. Ronald Ross studied medicine in London and joined the Indian Medical Service in 1898. Beginning malaria research in 1892, he provided mosquitoes transmit the disease, confirming Laveran and Manson's hypothesis. In 1899 he continued investigations in West Africa. His discovery earned recognition from leading scientists and numerous honors. Ross held professorships, later serving as consultant. His career emphasized malaria prevention worldwide, pioneering epidemiological surveys and mathematical models of disease transmission. Through these works, Ross continued his great contribution in the form of the discovery of the transmission of malaria by the mosquito. Again, more of those beautiful drawings of the malaria parasites. Then we go to a award ceremony speech by Professor Count Murder. Also, of course, coming from the official Nobel Prize site, but summarized by me. If you want to read a complete speech, you can go, of course, to the sites. Later you can see the link in the end. With respect to diseases, they are often of different kinds and import in diverse regions of the world. For instance, malaria is nowadays of little importance here in Sweden, where it is a veritable scourge in other regions. It's moreover a well-known fact that malaria dominates so fairly in vast territories that it causes the very greatest difficulties for the cultivation of countries which, but for the malaria, are specially favored by nature. The question of the real nature of malaria, its origin, its matter of entering the organism, and the consequent question of the possibility of preventing this disease are all of the greatest importance and have from remote ages occupied investigators for a long time without success. A very important discovery concerning malaria was made when Laveran, a French army surgeon, ascertained that malaria is a parasitic disease caused by a very low form of animal life that he found in the blood of malarious patients. Research about malaria in the last 2 decades has chiefly been based upon Laveran's discovery. Science has thereby been enriched with many an important fact. We have gained knowledge of the different forms of the malarial parasite in blood. We have found that it differs in the special form of the disease. The relation between the parasite and the red blue corpuscles have been able to survey the manner in which it multiplies in the blood. Golgi has in this respect revealed that the remarkable fact that the periodicity of malarial attacks depends on the appearance of new generations of the parasite in the blood. We have moreover found allied parasites in the blood of several mammals and birds. The important question, previously mentioned, as to the possibility of malarial parasites living outside the body and its way of obtaining entrance in the blood remained unanswered, for some reasons. Here you see, by the way, some beautiful drawings made by Laveran. It was supposed that the malarial parasite in some way leaves the blood so as to exist in some form in nature, probably as a parasite of some other being, another host, as nothing indicates that the parasite was to be found in the secretions of excretions. The supposition lay near at hand that suctorial insects would assist in carrying the parasite to a place where it had to pass the aforementioned part of its life cycle. Attention was therefore directed to the mosquito, which was thus supposed to spread the malarious infection. The importance of the mosquito in this respect has now been proved. In this case, as in several others, tradition anticipated science. It is even said that Negroes in East Africa used the same name for the mosquito and for malaria. The mosquito theory of malaria was introduced to science by King no less than 18 years ago. The theory, however, remained a conjecture without other evidence than some suggestion given by epidemiological observations. The attempts made in Italy in the early 19th of the 19th century with the view of examining the theory experimentally and eventually proving it to be true, gave results that seemed anything but encouraging, being far more likely to prevent investigators from following this line. A person we dreamed of great merit concerning the solution of the problem is the English investigator Patrick Manson. It was a change in the appearance of the parasite, which was sometimes observed to occur as the blood is shed, that Manson especially regarded as the first stage of his life outside the body. This phenomenon has afterwards been shown by the American pathologist McCallum to imply an act of reproduction of the parasite. Manson was moreover guided by his experience regarding another parasite of the blood, a little worm, filaria, the transference of which from one part of his life cycle to another he had found affected by the mosquito, and more specifically by special species of the mosquito. By his views set forth on malaria and exciting expectations that the solution of the malaria problem was to be found in the direction he indicated, Manson gave an impulse to the further testing of the mosquito theory, and at last to its being established. Manson, who lived in England, had no opportunity of taking up the experimental work of the problem. The solution came from India. It was the English army surgeon in India, Ronald Ross, who, impressed by Manson's induction, undertook the experimental testing of the matter. Critically arranging his experiments, he caused mosquitoes that were hatched from larvae in the laboratory to bite malarious patients and endeavored to follow the parasite in the body of the mosquitoes. The result of the first 2 years' labor, although assiduous and scrupulous, gave little promise of success, but in August 1879, all at once he made vast progress towards his aim. And you see again drawings for his notebooks he made in that time. While experimenting with another less common species of mosquito in the wall of its stomach, he found bodies that very probably were an evolutionary stage of the human malarial parasites. Ross, being prevented by circumstances from pursuing his plan in studying the malarial parasite of man, continued his work with an allied malarial parasite of birds. The result was not only could he confirm his discovery concerning human malaria, as he found corresponding facts for avian malaria, avian is bird, but he also in a short time succeeded in revealing the further development of the avian malaria parasite in the body of the mosquito. This development is briefly as follows. In the stomach of the mosquito, a process of fecundation at first takes place. The form of the parasite is thereby produced, parasites the stomach wall, embedded in which it grows to button-like structures, projecting into the body cavity. In these structures, a large number of elongated organisms, sporiocytes, are formed. On the consequent bursting of the said structures, the sporiocyte escape into the general body cavity of the mosquito and accumulate in the salivary or poison glands, which are in connection with the proboscis which the bites of the insects are inflicted. A bite of the mosquito at a time inoculates the parasite, and if the individual is susceptible to the parasite, this develops in the manner known and described following. An individual is manner. Ross' discovery into malaria were immediately followed by a series of important works. Thus, the Italian investigator Grassi, in association with his colleagues Bignani and Bastianelli, proved that the human malaria parasite is not only in its early stage, already detected by Ross, but also in its further development undergoes the same evolution that Ross described for the growth of the avian malaria parasite in the body of the mosquito. Grassi has also precisely indicated the species of mosquito that are of importance for the malaria of man. Many valuable works, besides these, have been issued by Ross, by the Italian investigators, by Robert Koch, and by many other works by which not only our knowledge of the malaria parasite has been enlarged, but this knowledge has also been made useful in combating and preventing malarial disease. The eminent scientific value of Ross's work, its importance as a basis for the success of the recent investigations into malaria, its rich contents as regards the art of medical practice and especially hygiene, will be obvious from above. Again, this is summarized from the official Nobel Prize site. It stands biographical, but that's wrong. I'm gonna change that. So this is now being corrected. You see, it's the ceremony speech about the work of Ross and not about that of the biography of Fisher. That was a mistake, obviously, but it's now being corrected. Finally, you see here the result of subsequent research. Here you can follow the complete life cycle of the malaria parasite, both in man and in the mosquito. This is coming, of course, from Wikipedia, as you can see, and you can search this and read about the life cycle yourself. Okay, there's going to be another video about the Nobel Prize lecture on this subject. For now, thank you for watching, and maybe until another time.